All right, so for example number 1, then, it says when you create an equation to model a real-world problem, your equation may involve the distributive property. When you solve a real-world problem, always check your answer to make sure it works. So we didn't really solve to see if 720 works on the last one. So that's one extra step we're gonna add. So on this one it says Aaron and This one says Aaron and Alice are bowling. Alice's score is twice the difference of Aaron's score and 5. So I'm going to jump out of order here. So we have two people. We have Alice. And then we have Aaron. What do they tell us about Aaron's score? It's 2 times the difference of Aaron's score. Do we know anything about Aaron's score? No. So we'll call this X. Or we could call it A because Aaron's name starts with the letter A. Yeah, but Allison is 2 times the difference between Aaron's score, which is A, and 5. In other words, it's A minus 5. Okay? Then it says their sum is 320. Is means equals 320. So this is this one right here. That's Aaron's score. And then this whole thing right here, that's Allison's score, or Alice's score. And then this is 320. So now what they're saying to us is that we could use, and I'll zoom in a little bit so you could see it better. Okay, we'll run to the office if you need to. So here, what they're saying with the distributive property, remember when I distribute this 2, it has to go through both terms in the parentheses. So 2 times A becomes 2A. Then you got to think of this as positive 2 times negative 5, which gives me negative 10. Then you have to think of this on the next step as 1A plus 2A. So if I have 1A in my hand and I add 2 more A's, how many A's do I have total? 3 A's. And then I have minus 10 comes down equals 320. So then in order to get rid of the 10, I simply add 10 to this side. But remember, whatever I do on one side of the equation, I have to do to the other. When I do that, what's 10 minus 10 equal? 0. Now, I'm writing all this down. You guys should be writing these little extra steps, too. I know you're mesmerized by my teaching, but make sure you have these notes to help you later to study for the test. Well, that equals 0. 0 plus 3A is 3A, and then I have 320 plus 10. What's 320 plus 10? 330. I need to get this 3 away from the A. Our goal when we solve an equation is to get A by itself and all the other stuff on the other side. Okay? And we do that by doing the inverse. The inverse is like the opposite, right? So if I'm originally adding, then the inverse would be to subtract. If I'm multiplying, the inverse would be division and vice versa. Okay? So 3A means 3 times A. What's the inverse of multiplication? Division. Well, a fraction's like a division problem, so I'm going to divide by 3, and whatever I do on one side, I have to do to the other. What's 3 divided by 3? 1. What's 1 times A? A. And then what's 330 divided by 3? 110. So Aaron's score is 110, but do we know Allison's score? No, because Alice's score is 2 times the quantity A, but we know that A is equal to 110. So we plug in 110, 110 minus 5 is 105. Then you multiply that by 2 and you get 210. And you can double check your work at the end. 110 plus 210 does in fact equal 320. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, good.